I don't know who you are, but I will find you, and I will tell you your buffs suck.
You have probably heard this sentence at some point. Even if you haven't, you must agree that the race for better buffs in Evony is never ending, and buffs are arguably the most important aspect of the game. This is the first of a series of videos on this topic. It answers these two questions: how to increase your buffs, and when do buffs apply? So let's get right into it. So buffs are like drops making up an ocean. Small additions that don't always work in every situation. Whether a buff applies depends on two things: the phrasing and where it comes from. Generally, the stricter of these two decides if it applies. Before going into the details, let's look at a couple of examples. So, if you have an equipment refinement that says ranged troop attack, it applies to ranged troops unconditionally based on the phrasing, but because it's on an equipment, it only applies if the equipment is on a lead general and only applies to the troops that that general is leading. Another example is spiritual beast seals that apply unconditionally based on the source, but here in this example, because of the phrasing that says attacking ranged troop, it only applies in attacking scenarios. You can download this spreadsheet down in the description, so I won't go into all of the details here, but I will mention the main things that are often misunderstood or overlooked. The phrasings are generally straightforward. There are basically three situations: attacking or defending in PvP and attacking monsters. And each of these can happen in three different ways. So the best buffs are the ones that have no modifiers, so they're unconditional. For generals, it says when the general is leading the army, and apply when the general is the lead or assistant general. Then you have the attacking buffs, which apply when you are attacking either solo or in rally. Then you have in rally buffs that apply only if you attack in a rally, both PvP and monsters. For this one that says when joining Alliance War, I believe it should still apply if you are the rally setter. But let me know in the comments if you have tested and it's not the case. Then we have buffs that are specific to monsters, so they apply when attacking monsters in any way. You have buffs that are applied when the specific general is the officer of the certain building that it mentions, and then we have buffs that are specific for the battlefield. Defense gets a bit tricky. We have these defense buffs that apply in all situations of defending. So you can defend in your own keep, or in camps and buildings, or reinforcing other players' keeps. When it says in city, it should apply both when you're defending in your own keep and also when you are defending in another city. Again, on these two, I'm not 100% sure. Let me know if you think otherwise. If it says when defending the main city, it only applies when defending your own main city, not in other situations. And finally, when it says reinforcing or when reinforcing, it only applies when you're reinforcing another city. Remember that although buildings in Battlefield may say you are reinforcing them, but the battle mechanics work as simple defending, not as reinforcements there. So now, when can you get more buffs? I've made a long list. Probably I missed a few. Let me know in the comments if I missed something. I will add and update the file. I also added some of the main requirements that each need to highlight the cases that you might need to trade off some of the sources. Okay, so the academies are obvious. Then you have your army generals, the lead and the assistants. The key thing to mention here is that cultivation, equipment, and spiritual beasts and dragons don't work on assistant generals. Beasts and dragons can activate the main skills in some cases, but their own buffs don't apply. Another thing I want to highlight here is the advanced refines on civilization equipment on the main general. I myself overlooked this for a long time. So you want to aim to get 4 gold refines on the gear to unlock the advanced refinements. Then duty officers. One thing about them is that many think that their specialties, their base specialties, always add buffs. That's not the case. They work only if it specifically says applied to duty officers. Equipment doesn't work on them either. It only works if you have those special officer equipment. The other equipments don't work. And yes, that includes the archer tower officer as well. So you don't need gears on them. The officer level matters. So you want to aim for getting it to super. So spiritual beast seals, champion skills, and blazons are important. The Senate also is very important, adds a lot. Then you have these civilization equipment that set buffs that says when you own it, they apply unconditionally. And also the Atlas buffs, which are when you amplify that civilization gear. But this one is often forgotten too. So Covenant generals, even if they're not part of the battle, they can add to your buffs unconditionally, this type of Covenant buff only. For example, if you have Gunther and enable his 4th Covenant buff, you get 10% in rally HP for all types of troops. You can also get nice debuffs from some generals. This is one example. The victory column, it helps through the basic stats of the general. It's generally not worth the upgrades only for those buffs, but it does add to your buffs. So this pretty much covers the main things about the buffs. Okay, a few quick notes on debuffs. Debuffs come from pretty much in the same places, just fewer of them. The only addition is subsidy mayors. Subsidy mayor buffs are useless. They only apply to their own tiny subsidy troops, but their debuffs, those always count when they're in the battle. So if they're attached to defense and if they're attached to solo attacks. And all of their debuffs count, including from their red stars, from their skills, from their equipment, from their beasts, from specialties, and from covenants. Not including covenants here because, as far as I know, the current mayors don't have covenants, but if they do, they count. So I think this is it for this video. Let me know in the comments which sources you find most important, and if I've missed anything, I'll update the file and descriptions of the video if needed. In my next video, I'm going to introduce a new tool that I made that helps you decide between different types of buffs based on your troops and specific scenarios. So make sure to subscribe and tune in for that. See you in the next video.